Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama Rama Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
welcome all of you for our 179th Prerna Youth Festival. ISKCON Chopati welcomes you all for this wonderful program. We have this program going on for last 25 years or so, and it's a great joy for us to welcome you again. Now, this particular Prerna in December 2020 is very special because we have with us a very special personality, a very well-known figure in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, who is going to help us understanding the mood of how we can bring in the new year, the year 2021. So topic for today is the New Year Resolution 2021, and we have with us His Holiness Guruprasad Swami Maharaj. We wish to give a small brief introduction about Maharaj to our audience here. His Holiness Guruprasad Maharaj was born in America in a German origin family. Guruprasad Maharaj was born in a very wealthy family, but since birth he was very much attracted to spirituality. I was told that Maharaj was born actually on the day of Bahulastami, the day of Radha Kund appearance, and we can just see that how Maharaj since birth had a spiritual touch. Eventually he got interested in many spiritual aspects, and he qualified into a very big academics. He finished his college education in nuclear physics from Purdue University, and Maharaj was in Texas University for some time, where for the first time he got a brief stint of Krishna consciousness in America. Later on, Maharaj was on the US military at the Panama base in Central America, and it was at this time that Maharaj came in touch with devotees in Panama. And then Maharaj, after his brief stint with the military services at Panama, then joined ISKCON Society full time and started traveling and preaching in that particular zone. In the year 1976, Maharaj got a chance to go to India and attend the Mayapur Vrindavan festival. And at that time in 1976 in Vrindavan, Maharaj was duly initiated by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj became a Prabhupada disciple, and then eventually he came back to this place of Latin America and South of America, where he was preaching in English and Spanish languages. Seeing Maharaj's sincerity and his beautiful preaching, in the year 1982, Maharaj was awarded sannyas in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, by Srila Prabhupada's leading disciple that time, His Holiness Hridayananda Das Goswami Maharaj. And since then, Maharaj has been preaching extensively and dedicating his life in preaching in that particular zone of the world. And because Maharaj was so serious about wonderful preaching and the aspects of Krishna consciousness which he developed in the form of temples, in form of yatras, installing deities, book distribution, eventually in the year 1987, the ISKCON Society brought Maharaj into the GBC body, and also Maharaj became the initiating guru of ISKCON. So since then, Maharaj has been involved in many places and preaching. At this time, Maharaj, the zone where Maharaj spends maximum time preaching is Mexico, in Central America, Panama, Costa Rica, Colombia, Venezuela, Trinidad and Tobago, and north of Brazil, and many other places. So we are indeed very grateful that His Holiness Guruprasad Swami Maharaj has come here with us, even though it's a different time zone for him in America. But Maharaj is logged in here just so that he can give his association to all of us. And indeed, it's a special occasion for us that we are ending this 2020, the difficult year, with a very great note by having the association of a great Vaishnava, His Holiness Guruprasad Swami Maharaj. So let us welcome His Holiness Guruprasad Swami Maharaj to our Prerna Youth Festival by 3 times raising our hands and loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Over to you, Maharaj. You can start speaking, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, first of all, I would like to say it's a great pleasure to have this opportunity to offer some service to the wonderful devotees there. And I hope that by Krishna's grace, I can say something that will inspire you in your upcoming year of 2021. Om Gyana Timanandasya Kanangjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabando Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today our topic is New Year's resolution. Of course, resolutions in Krishna consciousness, in the Vedic paradigm, is something very common. Whereas in the secular world, the outside materialistic world, it is a set of wishes how to attain more in this material world. So I'd like to look at these two things side by side and see what is beneficial. Srila Prabhupada many times said that there are two things. There is prayas and shreyas. So of course, praya means immediate pleasure. Sometimes when we think of immediate, we think of, today, tomorrow, this week. But of course, when we think in terms, universal terms, then immediate, generally speaking, from an analytical point of view of what to do with our lives, immediate means in this lifetime. So the pleasures of this lifetime, as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur classifies, he said there's two types of needs: life-sustaining needs and sense-gratificatory needs. So life-sustaining needs are those needs which we eat grains and milk and foodstuffs and water and so many other types of liquids to sustain our life. So he said, even that should be somewhat restricted. But the things for sense gratification, if one wants to be a pure Vaishnava, because we should understand what is the goal in our lives. Just like I've mentioned several times in classes, when I used to go out in my brahmachari days of doing Sankirtan, one of my favorite questions was, what is the goal of your life? And people would stop. They don't think of the goal of their life. They think, what is the goal of this week, this month, or like we're speaking now, New Year's resolution. What do I want to obtain in this next year. So this is the materialist. What do I want to acquire? But the spiritual consciousness, even the Christians, they have the saying, well, that they say, Christ said that better to give than receive. So from a Vaishnava point of view, that we're not looking to obtain something, we're looking to give. A Vaishnava is always interested in service, understanding that through service to Krishna, Bhakti Yogam Adoksaja, that serving Krishna, Adoksaja, indicates that Krishna cannot be easily understood, nor can his ultimate desire be easily understood. And therefore, like we express a desire, just like here in the US, it's a big, big thing, Christmas. So yesterday was Christmas, and everybody has so many desires. I want this, I want that. But a devotee thinks, I want to give. What do I want to give? Because giving is the nature of service. And to a doksaja, when we think of something for ourselves, we think of something very, very, very insignificant. Just like Srila Prabhupada said, told two stories about this phenomenon. First, a boatman, of course, mostly in India, we see that some boatmen would walk on the bank of the river, and with a rope, they would pull their boat. So Prabhupada said there was one boatman, he came, and he was, feet were hurting so much because of pulling the boat. Sometimes there were thorns and sometimes there were rocks on the side of the river. So he said, my Lord, he was praying to the Lord, please, my Lord, help me. This is so difficult. And so finally, the Lord appears and says, what do you want? I said, could you please arrange some pillows or soft material to put on the bank of the river? So Srila Prabhupada said, this is like shooting a mosquito with a cannon. Otherwise, you have the opportunity to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What do you ask? And what do you, such a powerful opportunity. And what are you asking for? Some pillows. Or another story Srila Prabhupada told, an older lady, she was carrying so much wood, praying to the Lord. And finally she hears a voice, what do you want? And she said, please help me with this load. Because she's connected with the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhava mata sarvam pravartate. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I'm the source of everything. And what are you asking for? Somebody help me carry my sticks. Somebody help me, give me some pillows. So this is like shooting a mosquito with a cannon. So much effort to get such a insignificant result. So therefore, praying for anything in this material world is insignificant. Just like Arjuna, when he was praying to Krishna, then what was his prayer, his frustration? He expressed his frustration to Krishna that nahi papashyami mamapanudya yachchokam uchchoshana nindriyanam apapyabhuma vasapatna riddham rajam suranam apichadipatyam. He said, I don't find any way to give up this grief, this anxiety that I'm going through, to dry up this lamentation. Even if I got a kingdom, an unrivaled kingdom, asapatyam, with the sovereignty of the demigod, I won't be happy. And Srila Prabhupada expresses this in a purport to another verse in Bhagavad Gita, that as the Christians say, even what is the use of obtaining this world if we have to leave it behind? Otherwise, it doesn't matter what you have. And of course, in our tradition, the classic example is Dhruva Maharaj. He wanted something that was greater than anything in this world. Of course, this is the recommendation of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that you should look for that which is not found in this world. In this world, impermanent world, what can anything do for us other than increase our attachment? Attachment to, in his Bhakti Aloka, very wonderful work of Bhaktivinoda Thakur on 2 verses of the Upadeshamrita, he gives a whole list of all the things that people wish for, and related, starting the deepest things that we feel our desire for in this world: my family, my friends, my society, my country. I remember when I was young, in school, we would stand up and pledge, say the national pledge. And, but there was one person, and of course I didn't understand at that time, one person who said, "I refuse to say that." And so the teacher didn't know what to do. How will I deal with this person? He said, "So why don't you want to?" He said, "Because why should I ask God to bless this nation and not any other nation? We should be asking God to bless everything." So at that time, of course, we were young boys and girls. We thought, just some fanatic. But actually, after coming to Krishna consciousness, I realized that actually this young boy was very, very inspired to say something like that. That he realized that no matter how big the goal is within this material world, it's never sufficient. Just like Gandhi said one time, that if we all try to obtain what we want, there's not enough for one person. But if we try to obtain what we need, then there's enough for everyone. So Dhruva Maharaj, he wanted the kingdom greater than the kingdom of his grandfather, which is Lord Brahma. So basically, he wanted something greater than the universe. So that seems like a very tall order. But for Lord Vishnu, it was not a problem. But he could give anything to anyone. Just like in the 5th canto of the Bhagavatam, the demigods, they pray to, in their prayers, they're speaking about the Lord, and they say, Satyam Dishat Artitam Artito Nrinam, that the Lord says that anything that any living entity wants, I want to give it to them. But Naivar Tato Artito Artitaya Taha. But if that particular desire that they have will further involve them or get them caught up into the material atmosphere, then better I give them my lotus feet on their head, even though they didn't ask for that, because that will satisfy all of their desires. So otherwise, we're full of so many desires that we want this, we want that, we want so many things. So in our real culture, in our Vaishnav culture, of course, Vaishnav culture even goes beyond Vedic culture in the sense that the Vedas prescribe very, very severe and difficult things. But Vaishnav culture prescribes one thing, that Bhakti Yogam Adhoksaje, that you offer devotional service to Adhoksaja, Ada Aksha Aja, to that personality, that entity who is beyond the purview of our eyes, of our senses, of our mind, of our intelligence, beyond beyond anything that we can possibly conceive of. And so, and there's only a few requirements. Ahaitukya pratyata. That if you want this desire to be very, very complete, fully complete, then ahituki pratyata should have these two ingredients. That hoituki, it should be free from personal motives. Otherwise, if we want something that's beneficial for everyone, it should be free from personal motives. And if we want something that is always beneficial, it should be apatyata. It should be without any deterrent, without any interruption. And this will satisfy. Yayatma suprasidati. This is the way to satisfy everyone. Because ultimately, whenever we do something, whenever we want something, whenever we desire something, as Srila Prabhupada made it the point many times, we don't just want it for ourselves. We want it for others. And when Dhruva Maharaj realized by seeing the Lord, and of course when he saw the Lord, he couldn't even understand what to say. So the Lord touched him on his head with his conch shell. And then he said, "My Lord, I have been praying for, I have acquired that which is beyond the wishes of anyone within this material universe. But now upon seeing your beautiful lotus feet and your beautiful form, I can see that everything I prayed for is just like a piece of broken glass. And therefore, let me have the Divya Ratnam, the transcendental gem of your beauty, your fame, and all of your transcendental qualities. Just seeing you has fulfilled every desire within my heart." So this is, the point is that there's nothing in this world, even if you get the whole universe, that will be satisfying. And this is what Arjuna said, that even if I get whatever I could possibly get in this world, it will not stop this lamentation, because everything in this world creates lamentation. As Krishna says toward the end of Bhagavad Gita, Brahmabhuta prasanatmana shochati na kankshati, that when you come to the spiritual platform, there's nashochati, you don't lament. Generally speaking, everything we want is based on these two things, shochati, kankshati. Lamenting for something I experienced in the past. Either I had it or someone else had it, and I'm lamenting because I don't have it. And then kankshati, then that becomes the fuel for my unlimited desires. Because when we start competing with others, the envy that's within our hearts makes us compete with others. That I want this, either on the gross platform or the subtle platform. I want a car, house, money, or I want power, I want position. These are between subtle and gross, or I want more subtle. I want to be recognized. I want to be renowned. I want to be appreciated. I want to be, but all of that comes automatically with Krishna consciousness. Of course, a devotee doesn't strive for these things, but it comes automatically. Just like we have the example of Sri Madhavendra Puri. Sri Madhavendra Puri was on a mission after he had been chosen by Gopal because of his unalloyed devotion and his desire just to go to Govardhan and be at the place where Krishna performed his wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan. So he went there. He went to, and he was led. The Lord brought him to where his deity form was lying. He established the deity, and then the deity said, "Bring some sandalwood, and I will it will cool off my body. My body's still hot from being in this." So he went. No questions, no other consideration. This is the desire of the Lord. And so he went all the way to Jagannath Puri, with all the paperwork, all the difficulty, going through all these foreign controlled zones of the Muslim empire. And of course, on the way, he stopped in Remuna, and he saw the wonderful offering given to the Gopinath deity. And then he thought to himself, I'm hankering for something. He thought, if I could just understand how to make that sweet rice, I could please Gopal. But then he thought, no, look, I'm just desiring something. So he felt very bad. He went to take rest. But the deity heard his prayer. And the deity arranged that the priest would bring him the sweet rice or condensed milk. And so the priest found him. And he said, Madhavendra Puri, you are the most celebrated person in the three worlds. The Lord has personally reserved this condensed milk for you. And so Madhavendra fainted in ecstasy. And he took the sweet rice immediately. And he even broke up the pot and just took a little piece of that pot every day, just to relish this wonderful thing that he had obtained. Now, how many people would relish a clay pot? How many people would break up a clay pot and eat a piece of it every day, and thinking, by eating this piece of clay pot, that I have attained perfection? A clay pot, insignificant. But actually, this is what Krishna is asking of us. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakta prayachati. He says, what do I require? A flower, some water, a leaf. These are the things I require. I don't require much, because everything is mine. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Everything we find within this universe, every universe, with all existence, belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, what is Krishna requiring? What is Krishna asking us for? Because that should be the goal of our resolution. What can bring me closer to Krishna? So in our tradition, we have bratas, we have, types of vows that we make, these bratas, and we have sankalpa. A sankalpa in a general sense means desire, but also it means determination. So in the Vedic culture and the Vaishnava culture, there is a sankalpa, a wish. And so we could say New Year's resolutions are like sankalpas. But a New Year's resolution is, we make it once a year. And of course, if we analyze it a little more deeply, when is our New Year? Of course, in the general Vedic culture, New Year would be considered, Deepali, this time of year, Kartik time. But Gaudiya Vaishnavas consider New Year Gaur Purnima, when Lord Chaitanya appeared. Of course, some Vaishnavas consider Janmashtami the New Year, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared. But even if we take it in the context of the changing years, which is the setting that we're put in our general society, the world kind of functions on this calendar 2020, 2021, etc. So we're just focusing. Whenever you want to make this promise, why make it once a year? Why make it so distant from the real goal of life? And what is the goal of life? Well, the Bhagavatam begins by telling us that what is the qualification to receive the goal? That goal is Krishna. Vedaishcha sarvaradaham eva vedyo. Krishna says, I am the goal. I'm the goal of all the Vedas. Now the Vedas take into consideration everything and everyone. Just like one time, Srila Prabhupada conversing with Dr. Patel, he mentioned something about eating meat, and Dr. Patel immediately objected. No, Vaishnavas don't eat meat. The Vedas, and Prabhupada said, yes, but the Vedas allow this under certain restricted conditions. Dr. Patel, no, Vaishnavas don't allow this. And Prabhupada said, yes, we Vaishnavas, we don't do. But because the Vedas take into account everything and everyone, then there isn't. And so they argued, and finally Srila Prabhupada just kept insisting until he finally accepted it, that the Vedas don't leave out anything. So everything is taken into consideration. So when Krishna says aham eva vedyo, that Vedaishcha sarvarad aham eva vedyo, that the goal of all the Vedas, the goal of Vedanta, the goal of everything is to understand me and to seek me. And this is the universal, this is for everyone. And of course, Krishna also says, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam, because Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, because I'm the owner, I'm the everything belongs to me. And then Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam. Therefore, who can you ultimately, you can only offer things to me because I'm the owner of everything. Just like sometimes Krishna is considered to be butter thief, and or he would, but he's not a butter thief, or he's not an anything thief, because it already belongs to him. So, but when we see things in terms of this body and my family, my friend, my nation, my universe, just like Lord Brahma, he was thinking himself very great because he's the head of the whole universe. So because he was thinking that way, the Lord summoned him, and he went to see the Lord. And at the entrance of the Lord's abode, the doorkeeper, or the attendant, said, "Who are you?" And so Brahma was surprised. "Who am I? Who doesn't know who I am? I'm Brahma." And he said, "Oh, which one?" And Brahma was even more confused. "Which Brahma? I'm Brahma." And so he was announced, and then said, "All right, you can come before the Lord." And when he came in, he saw so many Brahmas, but all of them had more heads than him, more opulence than him. And he realized that I am a very, very insignificant being. So we have this tendency in this world to think in terms of our surroundings, that our achievements, what are the achievements of others? But the greatest achievement in this material world, according to the Bhagavatam from the very beginning, is to acquire the qualifications to achieve the supreme goal. And what are those qualifications? Paramo nimatsaranam satam. That one should be Parama. One should come to the platform of Paramahansa. And how does one do that? Nirmatsaranam satam. One becomes free from envy. The envy within our hearts is what makes us desire all these things from the material world. And therefore, I wanted to read one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a prayer of Sri Prahlad Maharaj. And because this prayer it represents what should be if we want to have a resolution that is beneficial for ourselves and for everyone. Because one time Srila Prabhupada, just to mention, get it into context a little more, time Srila Prabhupada, he asked the devotees that what is the real, what is the real purpose of life? What is, why is it that we're so attached to this body? Why are we so interested in ourselves? And devotees began to think, oh, this is Maya, this is illusion. They said so many things. And Prabhupada said, no. And Prabhupada said, because we love ourselves, because we are part of Krishna. And therefore, because it's natural, the soul naturally loves Krishna, therefore we love ourselves. Because we can't see Krishna as the whole, the part that we can see ourselves. As it says in the Bhagavatam, Drishtra evatmanam. When one can see oneself, really see oneself, one can see the Paramatma, which is sitting beside oneself. So therefore, because we can see, we love ourselves because we love Krishna, then really, to really understand ourselves, we understand ourselves as part of Krishna. And if we understand ourselves as part of Krishna, we understand every living entity. Samasarvashu bhuteshu. Another requirement, as I began a little while ago, Brahmabhuta prasanatmana shochatina nakangshati, samasarvashu bhuteshu. If we have these three things, feeling the happiness of spiritual life, not lamenting or hankering, and seeing every living entity as part and parcel of Krishna with equal vision, then mad bhaktir labate param, then we can be transferred to the spiritual platform, to the platform of bhakti, the platform of pure devotional service. So this understanding, this is what Prahlad Maharaj's New Year's resolution was, or his desire, his sankalpa, his vow, his vrata, his prayer to the Supreme Lord. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam 5:18 and text number 9. And this is Prahlad praying to Lord Nrsimhadev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Swasyastu Vishvasya Kala Prasidatam Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodya Manascha Badram Bhajata Dadoksaje Avishyatam No Mitrapya Haituki. He said, may there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living beings become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thoughts of Him. So, Prahlad Maharaj, when he prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev, he was very, very desirous for the benefit of other living entities. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada many times mentions him, because he said that What do I need? Naivo dvije paraduratya vaitaranyas vadbirya gayana mahamrita magnachitaha. He said, personally, I have no fear, I have no necessity in life. But shoche tato vimukha chetasa vimudham maya sukhaya paramudvahato vimudham. He said, but I cannot turn away from all the living entities in this material world who are caught up in the illusion of Maya. And what is that illusion? Maya Sukhaya, that pursuing the illusory happiness of this material world, they're always trying to make so many big arrangements. So then Prahlad Maharaj said that although I know that these living entities, Naitam Bihaya Kripanam Vimukshu Eko, I know that they're fools and they're rascals, but I cannot desire my own liberation, putting them before me, just like the sage, the many great saintly persons, they go Manam Charandi Vijane, they go searching for a solitary place, but na parartha nishtaha, but they don't think of para artha. They don't have this para artha nishtaha. They don't have this determination to help others, like Prahlad Maharaj. And he says that Nanyam Tvarasya Sharanam Brahmato Nupashe. I don't see any other solution other than your mercy, my dear Lord. I don't see anything else that can possibly benefit the living entities in Kali Yuga. And therefore Prahlad Maharaj made this prayer that let all the living entities become peaceful. Let them all become happy in Krishna consciousness. And then Srila Prabhupada, I just wanted to read 2 lines from the purport of that particular verse, where Srila Prabhupada says this. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given us a very fine purport in this regard. Whenever one offers a prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one always requests some benediction from him. Even pure Nishkama devotees pray for some benediction, as instructed by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshastika. Now, just to give a little introduction before I read that prayer, which we all know very well, all of us who have studied Lord Chaitanya, but about praying for benedictions. So a devotee thinks, well, I've been taught that we should not ask the Lord, we should not trouble the Lord for something that we want. But based on what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says here, he says, you can't avoid it. Why can we not avoid it? Because Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papabhyo mokshayishami ma shuchaha. You must give up all unnecessary things, and you must take shelter in me. So if I give up everything else that's unnecessary, and I take shelter of Krishna, and Krishna says, I will supply you with everything you need, then, as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says here, I can't avoid it. I have to, even though I don't want to bother Krishna, because Krishna is the source of everything, I must approach him. Even the pure Nishkam devotee has to pray for something. So what is the prayer of that Nishkam devotee? Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishave bhavam buddho kripaya tavapada pankaja stita dhuli sadrishim vichintaya. That is his prayer. That I just want to be placed. Somehow or another, I've fallen into this ocean of material existence, and I just want to be placed as an atom at your lotus feet. And of course, before that, there are 3 prayers in the Shikshastikam that a devotee makes his sankalpa, his desire, his resolution, his brata. And what is that? Trinadapi sunichena tarori va sehishnuna Amani namani dena kirtaniya sadahari. Let me first acquire the proper mentality by which I can approach the Lord. And what is that mentality? That I must be more humble than a blade of grass. How humble is a blade of grass? Even a blade of grass, we step on it and he accepts it. But a blade of grass, sometimes it may raise up afterwards. Therefore, sometimes it's mentioned a straw in the street, because a straw in the street, you step on it, it doesn't even raise up. It just stays in that position. So, tarori ba sahishnuna. I want to be more tolerant than a tree. A tree, people cut them, people write on them, people do all kinds of things. And what does the tree do? It gives them shade, gives them fruits, gives them shelter. Just like Srila Prabhupada was walking one time in Switzerland, and he saw some trees, and he said, "So, what is this tree?" And some devotee said, "What kind of tree?" Prabhupada said, "So, what kind of fruits does it give?" No fruit, Prabhupada. And what kind of flowers does it give? No flower, Prabhupada said. Then impious tree. But then Prabhupada looked around the base of the tree. There was no snow. This was wintertime. And Prabhupada said, just see, just like the Sikh Swami, around the base of the tree, there's no snow, it's warm. They knew this, Prabhupada, they knew this, and therefore they could take shelter. So, more tolerant than a tree, respecting everyone else. Why? Because they're parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not easy to respect everyone else. But even more difficult is not wanting any respect for ourselves. Of course, we want Krishna to notice us, but we don't want any recognition from others other than the recognition from Sri Guru, from the Vaishnavas. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavati Gita. Sri Narottam Das Thakur says we should be very anxious to get the blessings of the Supreme Lord, the spiritual master, the Vaishnavas, the Bhagavatam, and the Bhagavad Gita. So this is what Prahlad Maharaj is saying here, that and Srila Prabhupada explains, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that you can't do anything without approaching the Lord. And especially in devotional service, we have to make so many prayers. We pray every day. We begin the day with our resolution, praying, Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado Yasya Prasadan Nagati Kutopi, that without I must have the mercy of the spiritual master, because without the mercy of the spiritual master, there can be no success. So this should be our resolution. But why wait for a year? Just like Srila Prabhupada, he's told this story twice that I remember. I mean, he may have said it more times, but that when he was young, and especially when he was in Bombay or Mumbai, when he was there, he was thinking, my business is becoming successful. An astrologer has told me I can be one of the wealthiest men in India, so therefore I will make so much money. And by making so much money, I'll be able to support this mission. So Prabhupada thought this was a good idea. But later on in one purport, in the 12th chapter of Madhya Lila, Srila Prabhupada says that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that thinking that that the blessings that I get from devotional service in the form of money or power or something else, this is the fruit of my devotional service. And but Prabhupada says this is a big mistake. This is like grains of sand in the sweet rice. That it doesn't, it's not good. That one should not be praying for, even for thinking that I will know better than Krishna when to give money, how much money I should give. No, one should give a charity, especially if one is grihastha, one should give charity, but not like one makes the plan. I made my plan, I will support the mission. No, I am the prominent one. So Srila Prabhupada, of course, just like Arjuna or just like Parikshit Maharaj, a pure devotee sometimes is put into a, just like Prabhupada's first interaction with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, how can I go and fulfill the desire of preaching in the Western countries if preaching in the English language, if we're dependent, we're not an independent country? And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, we are never independent. We must be dependent on Krishna. So to think, to try to plan so much ahead, just like, of course, right now I'm in the US, and here everybody thinks ahead, 20 years, 30 years. How can I be secure for the next 30 years? And we understand from the Bhagavatam, you can't even be secure for 7 days, or 7 minutes, or 7 seconds. There is no security. Param padam yad vipatam nadesham. In this material world, there's always a danger. There's always a difficulty. So how can we possibly escape? So what is that New Year's resolution? I say the best one is this prayer that we just read by Prahlad Maharaj. Or another very wonderful resolution, which was contemplated by Srila Prabhupada in the 1950s, was what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote in his commentary on the verse 241 of Bhagavad Gita. And what did he write? I'll just read that prayer. I think this is a very wonderful prayer. Of all kinds of intelligence, the best intelligence is focused on bhakti yoga. In bhakti yoga, one's intelligence becomes single-pointed or fixed in determination. Ekeha kurunandana. One thinks, the instructions of my spiritual master to worship the personality of Godhead by chanting, remembering, serving his feet, and all the 9 processes of devotional service. That is my only sadhana and my only sadhya, my only livelihood. I am incapable of giving up these instructions, either in the stage of practice or in the stage of perfection. Otherwise, it's not that I have the goal to become Krishna conscious, and when I do, I forget about the spiritual master or the instructions or my humility or the mentality that I should have. They alone are the object of desire and my only responsibility. Besides them, I can desire no other responsibility, not even in my dreams. It is all the same to me, whether I feel happy or unhappy, or whether my material existence is eradicated or not. So this was the prayer. Srila Prabhupada many times mentions that the purport, this purport to 241, he was very much inspired by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport. So we have to be very, very attentive that we don't deviate from the real desire. The real desire is to become Krishna conscious. Any other material desire, as Arjuna said, will simply be lost. So therefore our Brattas, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Bhakti Aloka, he suggests some Brattas. He said, Brata, what is the first Brata that one should take up is, of course, chanting the holy name of the Lord. And this is something when devotees are initiated, they of course, this is the most important one. So much so that Srila Prabhupada in his purport to Madhya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22:113, he says that in the purport, he says of all the instructions of the spiritual master to chant 16 rounds minimum, so chant minimum daily, of course, for us it's minimum 16 rounds, is the most important instruction. So this should, of course, this vow we take daily. But in New Year's, whatever your New Year's that we're talking about, this New Year's in a few days, or we're talking about the New Year's after Gaur Purnima or after Diwali, or whatever New Year's one is most sacred to oneself, then one should ask for this. Let me chant with greater intensity, with greater concentration, with greater focus, with greater understanding of the glories of the holy name, which are unlimited. Because what are the glories of the holy name? They are the glories of Krishna. And of course, the holy name has its own particular glories in that it is the most merciful manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, that sankalpa in our temples, we do every day by repeating the 10 offenses against the holy name of the Lord. And of course, the first, I won't go through all of them. I think many of you or most of you know them. But the first one, don't blaspheme the devotees of the Lord. Don't criticize. And Lord Chaitanya, to take us out of that critical mentality, he said, Na danam na janam na sundarim kavitam jagadisha kamare. Mama janmane janmanishvare bhagavat bhaktir ahaitu kitvai. That bhavatad bhaktir, your devotional service, that's all I want. I don't want wealth. I don't want reputation. I don't want the opposite sex. I don't want fruitive activities. I just want that birth after birth, I can be your unalloyed servant. So this is the supreme vow. But then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, for people who are just coming to Krishna consciousness, what should they do? Of course, they should chant, but also they should follow Hari Vasara or Ekadashi, one day every 2 weeks. And then he said, and because a good vow, you do it, you start for it the day before, your sankalpa, just like Srila Prabhupada mentioned, a good sankalpa is at the end of the day, you think, what did I do for Krishna? What did I do for Maya? So whatever I've done for Krishna, let me do more tomorrow. And whatever I've done for Maya, let me do less tomorrow. So this is the kind of sankalpa or vow that I recommend. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, so it takes about 3 days. You prepare for it, you do it, and afterwards you reap the result. But what you should not do is take a vow, today, Jamastami, I will do this, I will do that, and then the next day, business as usual. Otherwise, I go back to my sense gratification, to my very insignificant desires to have something in this world that is ultimately will lead me to become more attached, to which will absorb me more in the samsara of material existence. No, let me take let me not wait for the next year to make some promises. Let me make some big promise, like Prahlad Maharaj. Let us pray that all living entities will give up their enviousness. And what is that prayer? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That prayer is to get rid of all unnecessary things. And then he said, then after the 3-day vow, you do 1 month vow, Kartik. But it's not that you just do Kartik and then it's all over. Again, if you go back to your bad habits after the 1 month or the 1 day or the 1 month or 3 days, then your vow will be unsuccessful. And then we do 4 months, Chaturmasya. Not so much you eat spinach, you don't eat spinach, you do it. No, that's the external part. But the internal part is, what did Narada Muni do in Chaturmasya? He associated with great devotees of the Lord, Bhakti Vedantas, taking their remnants, taking their food remnants, and taking the most important remnants. Yasyam Shuyamananam Krishna Parama Purushe. What did he do? He was absorbed in hearing from them. And by that association, just like Sri Ramanujacharya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, the foremost instruction of Sri Ramanujacharya is this: if you cannot purify yourself by any other endeavor whatsoever, then just go sit with the Vaishnavas and you will achieve all auspiciousness. By observing the pure characteristics of a devotee, in a very short time, a person's mind is changed. His attachment for sense enjoyment decreases, and the seedling of bhakti sprouts within his heart. So, what is our vow? That vow, which Srila Prabhupada repeats so many times in Bhagavad Gita, throughout his works, throughout his classes and everything. Janti Deva Vrata Devam. If you have a vow to worship the demigods, you will go to them. Pitrin Yanti Pritrim Vrataha. If you want to worship the forefathers, you go to them. Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja. And if you worship the ghosts or spirits, then you will go to them. But Yanti Mad Yajino Bimam. But if you worship Mam Yajino, what is the, Krishna himself says, what is the relationship of the living entity with myself? Mam Yaji. To worship. It's worshiping. So if you worship Krishna, then you get the perfection of everything. So, so the real secret to carrying out our vows is the association of Vaishnavas. What do we do in the association of Vaishnavas? Rupa Goswami says, Dadati Pratigvinahi Guyam Akati Prichati, that Bhunte Bo Jayate Chaiva, that Shadvidhim Priti Lakshanam. These are 6 interchanges of love. You give to the Vaishnavas, you receive in loving devotion. You reveal your mind and you hear revelation. You give prasadam, you receive prasadam. These are the exchanges of love. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, and just as we have to interact with so many other people, we also do these 6 things, but not out of love, out of duty. You may have your family members, your friends, in external society. So you give them something, you take something, but not in loving exchange, but out of duty. And when it's in relation to Vaishnavas, it's love. And therefore, it becomes sangha, it becomes association, it has deep meaning. When we do it out of duty, it's a responsibility. And those duties are given in the Bhagavatam. Our duties, no matter what our duties are, because there's so many duties. Dharmam sunustita pumsam vishvaksena katasupa notpadayed yadiratim shrama evahi kevalam. Whatever prescribed duty we have in this world, if it doesn't awaken attraction to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if it's not done out of loving devotion, then shrama evahi kevalam. It's a waste of time. But whatever we do, atapum bir dvijashreshta varnashrama vibhagashaha swanustitasya dharma sha samsiddhir haridoshanam. Whatever within the Varnashram system, without the Varnashram system, whatever obligation we have, if we do it to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then it becomes very wonderful, very meaningful, and therefore it should be the guiding force in our lives. So that is my recommendation. If you want to do a 1-year resolution, then do something very big, which will encompass all living entities, which will be beneficial for everyone. Because whatever we ask for ourselves materially is just will increase our attachment to the material world. But whatever we ask for the benefit of others. But if you want to ask something for yourself, then just as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, and Srila Prabhupada took this as his heart and soul, he took it so strongly that it became the definition between himself and many of his other god brothers, who in many ways had more external qualifications. Prabhupada, they may have been greater Sanskrit scholars, they may have been big sannyasis or brahmacharis, but Srila Prabhupada captured from that purport of what was this one desire for oneself, to be totally attached to the instructions of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, so that one will always progress in one's spiritual life. That's for oneself. And for everyone else, let them give up their bad habits, which come out of envy. And also for ourselves, the Shikshastikam. Let me give up my desire for wealth, recognition. Let me be humble. Let me be tolerant. We can do that once a year, but better to do it once a day. Better to do it every day. Make these vratas, these resolutions, our very life and soul. And of course, the resolution which devotees have is Te Dvandva Moha Nirmukta Bhajate Mam Dridha Vrataha. That let me give up to the duality of this material world, the illusion, be free from these things, and then I can worship the Lord with great determination. So this is my recommendation. Make it that general, wonderful, big, all-inclusive New Year's resolution that all living entities become free, starting with my own heart. Chetodarpana marjanam. Let me cleanse my heart. And let everyone be free, so that we can all live free from hankering, all live free from lamentation, and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And daily, let me increase my chanting. Let me be very strictly following these 4 regulative principles. Let me contemplate every instruction of Krishna that I possibly can from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And then our lives will be so busy in trying to please Krishna that we have no time for Maya. So, Hare Krishna, I will stop here. And these are some points I wanted to mention on New Year's resolutions and vratas and sankalpas, how they can make us successful in our spiritual life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for your wonderful class. An amazing way you built up the point of how New Year resolution is actually a wish kind of thing. And quoting Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you mentioned about that wish could be a need or a want. And you also mentioned about that how, Maharaj, either we can wish for our personal thing or we can wish for others. And how more important is the need of being Krishna conscious. And he quoted so many examples of determination in Krishna consciousness, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj, for a wonderful class. And we have many questions for you, Maharaj. And can we begin, Maharaj, with a question, Maharaj?
Yes.
Sorry, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, there's a question which is on the screen for you. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. I work in a very competitive environment where everyone is in competitive mode. when I come in devotee association, I can't help myself getting in competition with the devotees. Also, I feel because of this, I lost a lot of good friends in youth forum. Kindly give your suggestion so that I would improve my situation.
Okay. I don't see it anywhere here, but anyway. You said it would be here on the screen just so.
Yeah.
But in any case, competition in this material world, there's two types of competition. There's spiritual competition and material competition. Just like there's spiritual envy and material envy. So Srila Narottam Das Thakur says that envy is the one thing we cannot increase in this world. Material envy. It's very dangerous. But there is a type of spiritual envy, which is, Srila Prabhupada actually encouraged it to some degree. Of course, sometimes devotees get carried away and convert it into something material. But spiritual envy is like with the gopis or friends of Krishna, his cowherd boys. They see someone serving Krishna very nicely, and they say, I want to serve Krishna better. Not for my false ego, not for my own recognition, but I want to I want to increase the desire. I want to increase the service of Krishna. I want to increase Krishna's pleasure, and therefore this other devotee is helping me so much because they have inspired me to do more for Krishna. So this is what I suggest, that we keep our competitive mood on the spiritual platform, because on that spiritual platform, it's very blissful. A devotee is just like when they go out to distribute books. Again, sometimes we become bewildered. That's why Narottam Das Thakur said, spiritual envy or spiritual competition is very wonderful if you have the right frame of mind. And that right frame of mind is that I want to please Krishna. And look at what this devotee is doing. Let me do more. Not so that I will be recognized. That has the opposite effect. But so that I will somehow or another, I will be able to offer something greater. By this devotee's service, he's inspiring me, or he or she inspiring me to come to offer more for Krishna. Krishna has sent this devotee to show me I should be offering more. This type of competition is very wonderful and increases our bhakti. So that would be my suggestion. Bring competition up to the spiritual platform. And that the competition that we have to do on the material platform, that's why I mentioned there are things you can do in relation to devotees. We do everything in love. In relation to others, we do it as a sense of duty. So if I have to compete on the external platform, it's a duty, it's a function. But when I have to compete on the spiritual platform, it should be full of love and devotion. I hope that's helpful.
Here, hope you can see on the screen, Maharaj. Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Maharaj. Yeah. How can we live a life of satisfaction when in today's modern world has influenced most of us with mentality of acquisition, where we are made to believe wants to be our needs?
One what? I'm sorry?
How can
We're
we live
led
a
to
life?
believe.
Yeah.
One,
How can,
here it is. Okay. Believe wants to be our need. Yes. Well, Krishna consciousness means, in relation to our present world, swimming against the current. No. Otherwise, that is what Krishna means by Dridha Vrata. No. Bhajante Mam. You have to worship Krishna to have that Dridha Vrata. You have to be properly situated in devotional service to have that degree of determination to go beyond the influence of what surrounds us. Just like Srila Prabhupada on two occasions that I know of. First, when he was beginning his preaching in New York, and Dr. Mishra invited him, and Dr. Mishra indicated him at one point. He said, Swamiji, if you want to be successful here, you have to learn to eat with fork and knife. Otherwise, almost indicating that you have to take up the nasty habits, some of the nasty habits of the Westerners. And Prabhupada said, I did not come to learn, I came to teach. So Dr. Mishra had the idea you have to blend in. And of course, a devotee wants to blend in to a certain degree. This is especially the duty of grihastas. They have to blend in to the point where people will listen to them. Otherwise, blending in means I have a family, I have a place to live, I have work. That's how much we blend in. But we don't blend in by accepting others' habits. This whole world is based on now, the competitive world, the consumer world is based on greed. Increase everyone's greed. You go to the commercial center or the mall, and you saw so many things, unlimited desires. But our mall is called the Srimad Bhagavatam. We go to the spiritual mall and we see all the wonderful things that are available to us to get rid of our envy, to get rid of our hankering, to get rid of our greed, to get rid of our anger, to get rid of our frustration, to get rid of our lamentation. And this is our marketplace, the marketplace of the holy name, the marketplace of the Srimad Bhagavatam that offers us an unlimited varieties of spiritual consciousness and mentality by which we can guide our lives. So instead of living in the variety, the seemingly unlimited, but very limited, because it only deals with eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, the very limited aspect of material variety. Although these four things, they manifest in so many different ways. We should go into the variety of spiritual understanding, the variety, unlimited pastimes of Krishna, qualities of Krishna, names of Krishna, forms of Krishna. That's what we should be acquiring. The mentality of acquisition is not bad. Krishna says, Maya saktamana parta yogam yunjan marashrayaha. That asakti, you should have this attraction. But for what? For me. Because within me is everything else. Even those material things that we may need, it's within Krishna. Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was happy to even allow Duryodhana to go on and be in charge. He just a little something for the Pandavas. Yudhishthira was happy like that, but he was made the emperor. When we don't want anything, we get everything. And when we want something, we lose everything. So this is the problem of the material world. That's why Krishna has given us this intelligence. The modern world influences us by technological wizardry. Just like Dhruva Maharaj was temporarily bewildered by the illusion of all these yakshas throwing all kinds of illusory weapons. And in different fights, we see there's these illusory, the demons, they use these illusory weapons. So that with the illusion of technology, you see all the kids nowadays with their little games and totally absorbed, totally bewildered by this illusion. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, how can we get rid of this illusion? Simple living, high thinking. As soon as you have high thinking, your living condition becomes more peaceful because you require less. But when we have no thinking, which is low thinking or no thinking, most nowadays people, they just, more than anything, they just react to all the propaganda and consumer offers, get this, buy this. How can you live without this? Well, millions and millions and billions of people lived without it for unlimited time. Why can't I? So to go beyond the illusion requires becoming more absorbed in Krishna. Just as Rupa Goswami says, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe, that we acquire detachment from these things by becoming more attached to Krishna. So that's my recommendation.
Maharaj, there is one more question for you, Maharaj. This is
Okay.
about chanting. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, thank you for your wonderful lecture. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. Very instructive, Maharaj. I have tried various ways to improve my japa, but often feel that my chanting japa is very distracted. Mostly my mind gets filled with thoughts about my profession where I work. How do I overcome this problem?
Well, first of all, welcome to the club. Sometimes we think ourselves very unique, and by thinking ourselves very unique or very special, we construct a way out, so to speak. So thinking, yeah, because I have this profession and I have this problem, I'm a special case, and therefore, what Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, what he says in Bhagavatam, all the recommendations of Srila Prabhupada and all of the great Vaishnavas really don't apply to me because I'm a special case. So we have to give up this egotistical approach in life. It's not my japa. Everybody's japa is suffering the same thing. I remember Bodhijan Prabhu in his little japa book that I saw, he said it took me 3 years to hear the Maha Mantra for the first time. Otherwise, chanting japa. And why is that? Why is japa difficult? Well, let us analyze what is japa. Japa means that for the next 2 hours, let's say, generally speaking, around 2 hours, I will be exclusively with Krishna in the form of his holy name, his most merciful manifestation. I will be alone with Krishna for the next 2 hours. Now, if someone were to tell us Krishna is descending just to speak to you for the next 2 hours and instruct you, what would you do? We would be like, how can I prepare myself? How can I get ready for this? No. So we really have to understand what japa is. It's a very intimate opportunity to associate directly with Krishna. But if I'm sitting in front of Krishna, if I'm sitting in front of anyone, just like sometimes we see that we're talking to someone and we know they're not interested because they start, playing with, looking at their pen, pick up something else. Oh yes, this is very, they're looking around. So if we're doing that to Krishna, looking around, thinking about something else, Krishna's within our heart. He can see what we're thinking. They think, well, he's not interested in me. Therefore, let me give him some Maya to contemplate. He wants Maya. So let me fulfill his desire. Yeya tamam prapadyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham. He's not surrendering to me, he's surrendering to Maya. So let me, mama vartmanu vartante. He wants to follow that path. Everyone follows my path. He wants to follow the path of my material energy. Therefore, let me fill his mind with so many distractions so that his or her japa will be another distraction. And then after some time, japa becomes the distraction to getting done what I want to get done. Therefore, I should chant less and do more because I need more money. So I recommend giving up this weakness of thinking myself very special, thinking my situation so unique that everything, Krishna gives so many instructions on how to concentrate, how to be absorbed, how to, and as Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, that you give up. You give up these attachments by taking on more and more vows for Krishna. Just like when someone gets married, you know, that when they're young, the relationship's frivolous, they're walking through the park together, hand in hand, or whatever. Then when they have children, then everything changes. Oh, now I have a greater responsibility. So every day in Krishna consciousness, by hearing from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, other Shastras, nectar of devotion, from the Vaishnavas, from Srila Prabhupada, we acquire more responsibility. And that responsibility makes us more determined in our devotional service. And what to speak of japa. So every time before japa, I recommend thinking, and now I'm going to be with Krishna. So let me really concentrate on this wonderful opportunity that I am. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj, for your wonderful association. It was very nice to have you with us for this Prerna festival. Definitely we will take back home with the wonderful messages you have shared with us today. At this time, let us thank Maharaj for coming on live with us and sharing his beautiful vision of Krishna consciousness. Let us thank Guruprasad Maharaj by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. At this time, we will invite all of you to join us for end kirtan. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh.
Krishna